Bradford Anderson. Bradford William Anderson.
Yes.
What's going on, brother?
That's my full name. I should have been a lawyer.
I know, you should have.
Well,
Anderson and Anderson.
Anderson and so Junior.
Anderson and daughters.
Anderson.
That's what's going to happen. They're going to be both lawyers, and then you can open a firm.
From your lips.
I don't know if they want to be lawyers, bro. That's a hard life.
I know.
That's a tough life.
Well, I mean, like, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that, like, because, you know, injury law is a big thing. And injury law commercials are like some of my favorite things.
Sure.
But I feel like there's less space for injury law commercials now that like broadcast TV is going all streaming. Like local commercials, like it's got to be like during local news. But
right.
I wonder.
And billboards.
In billboards. But I just wonder, like, if you're an injury law person, and feel free to write back to us, because this is just a curiosity. This is not a criticism. It's a curiosity.
Okay.
When you see other people's commercials for injury law, do you feel like you have to emulate them? Do you want to better this? Because they're all kind of the same.
This is a good question. Is there a template for these?
Right. I mean, like, how do you feel like you need to present yourself? Obviously, you want to present yourself as a fighter, someone that's going to, you know, go into battle for you when you feel like you've been wronged.
Sure.
But they just all seem to fall into like a similar category.
Well, you know, you were saying that, and it reminded me of soap operas.
Well, yeah, that's
because there's a template for that. There's a template for certain things.
And some people might watch soap operas and be like, "Are you intending to do that?" Because it looks like you're trying to.
Yeah, but I think you also had. I think also with those, I guess the ambulance chasers they call them, right?
Sure. Yeah.
To some degree, there has to be an attention grab.
Right.
Right, because look, if you get rear-ended, you're going to think immediately of maybe an injury law person, right? You'll be like, that guy who's crazy online and he does this.
And he's got a really
1-800 law for you or whatever it is.
And he's got a great jingle.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Not sure what the intentions are, but whatever.
Well, I wonder if like initially it was like some sort of, you know, psychologist that, or, you know, someone that understood, you know, like I wonder if that's
for sure, dude, for sure. It has to be, because look at infomercials, right?
Yeah.
They're so over the top. They're so crazy, but people still buy the stuff because maybe it works, but
maybe as seen on TV,
it's an attention grabber for sure.
I wonder if that store as seen on TV is still around.
The actual store, like a store?
There was, do you remember this? Do you remember the as seen on TV store?
No, like a brick and mortar store.
Yeah, selling stuff that you'd find on infomercials, basically.
Yeah. I know I've seen them in sections at like hardware stores and other places.
Yeah.
You know, like at Bed Bath & Beyond or something, but I haven't seen a store.
Oh, yeah. When's the last time you were in a store?
What kind of store? I mean, I'll go to the mall sometimes, go down to the sporting goods. And,
well, that's where the best AC is.
That's true. The best AC is at the mall for sure.
I bet
and the best music actually at my mall.
And the best pretzels. I bet a lot of people this weekend are going to be strolling around malls. I bet Simon Malls is just like, yes, heat wave. Let's go.
Well, now like all the modern outdoor malls, so you only get cold when you go in, and then you're out hot, then you're cold, then you're hot, then you're cold. Yeah. So,
well, I mean,
I guess that's like a cold plunge in a sauna at the same time. So good luck, everybody.
But I bet people will be going out to the movies this weekend. You know,
Mission Impossible's out. I saw.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
Temple of Doom, or not Temple of Doom. Indiana Jones. The new Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones did not do well.
I know. I don't think it. You know, I don't know if it was a generational gap.
Sure.
Maybe, right?
But
like
there wasn't a lot of competition either.
I know. But if a kid doesn't know Indiana Jones like we do.
Sure.
There's no sentimental. You're going to be like, oh, who's the old guy riding a horse in the street? Yeah, I mean, you get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying. Yeah.
You're
right.
I'm not trying to be, because I grew up with Indiana Jones. I love these movies.
Yeah.
But I don't, like, my kid doesn't care.
No. You're
I'm
right.
like, oh, listen, and look, and here's the other thing: these kids now, they look at the ratings, the stars.
They go to Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah.
Yeah, they totally look at it. And he's like, Dad, that was not real, that was not well rated, and this and that. I go, dude, it's Indiana Jones, man. Let's just go and watch a movie.
Right.
No, it's not great. I go, okay. So
Well, see, my kids don't like anything too scary. Like they're just not. They're just like,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I mean,
And Indiana Jones, like I mean, you remember those movies?
there were some scary parts.
People's
Yes.
faces melting off, and people like reaching in and like beating hearts, and you know some of that, like some of that ancient stuff that comes into it, the archaeology stuff.
Sure.
Like a little supernatural and kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And Juna, bless her heart, my 12-year-old, she's like, if it's violent, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch violence in my free time.
She shouldn't. I love her for that. That's
So,
wisdom. Tell her that's a good thing, because
I totally agree.
You know what I mean? Because these kids will be what they ingest.
Well, like, you know, like there's a part of me that wants to enjoy Marvel movies with them, right?
Sure.
You know, but that's me. That's a me thing. It's not they don't need to ingest Marvel movies for their well-being. Obviously, like,
right.
You know, it's part of the lexicon a little bit. Like, you know, you want them to have some pop culture knowledge, but you know, they listen to Taylor Swift. They got plenty of pop cultural references. They're fine.
There you go. Yeah. So, you know, it was interesting with the Indiana Jones, and we're talking about these movies, but this is our audience anyway. They love these 80s movies.
Right.
But, I mean, Top Gun was so big, Top Gun 2. Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, what was the disconnect? Was it because Top Gun was so big?
Right.
And it's a little cooler with the planes and all that stuff for people. Even, you know, a young kid would go, oh, that's cool. Fighter jets or whatever. I don't know. Like, I was trying to figure out what the disconnect is. Like, why Indiana Jones didn't do so great. But
I think Tom Cruise is different than Harrison Ford a little bit.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And you know, he's been more kind of relevant in especially the action movie sphere.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
With all the Mission Impossibles, like he comes out with an action movie every 2-3, almost every
other summer. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and also, like,
he's a beast.
I'm not sure Miles Teller is a name. But you know, like, besides Harrison Ford, I love Phoebe Waller-Bridges, but I don't think other people. I mean,
look, Tom Cruise is the draw. Harrison Ford's the draw.
Right. And so, you know, with the renewal of Star Wars, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. That's a fascinating thing, comparing Top Gun Maverick to that. But the word of mouth for Top Gun Maverick but also Top Gun Maverick was kind of the first movie that was like, come back to the theaters. That's you know, people were looking for a reason to go back to the theaters. And I think that's gone, right? That's not as much there. So
probably,
I think it's probably a little timing.
He's smart.
Yeah.
He held off.
Yeah. He could have put it just on
for that reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they wanted him to just stream it. He's like, no. We're going to the movie theater.
Yeah.
And they did.
And it worked out.
So anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of summer blockbusters, how was your vacation, Bradford?
Oh, I thought you were about to talk about our live shows in Omaha, Des Moines, in Milwaukee.
Speaking of summer blockbusters, we're back on the road.
That's right. That's right.
We're back on the road, and tickets are selling great. We're excited about it, you know, and we're going to Omaha, Des Moines, and Milwaukee at the end of July. stonecoldandthejackal.com for tickets. Don't wait, because we got a lot of marketing going on, and tickets are
moving,
flying off the shelf, as they used to say.
And it's less than 2 weeks.
Yeah,
which
it's really cool. I mean, we're at 200 in each place already, so it's like, and we have 2 weeks left, so that's good for us. Like, judging on how we, you know, gauge our ticket sales, and some markets are late buying markets,
right?
As we've heard our whole career.
Yeah.
As we've heard. So, but not these 3 markets, because they're selling, and it's going to be amazing.
I tell you what, I've already started to do. I'm vocalizing in my car when I have an empty car. Cause you know, cause I'm not sure if you guys know this. We sing songs. We like, our show is, it goes to a lot of different places.
Sure does.
Sure does. Some that might be predictable, and some that are not predictable.
That's true too.
So, and I gotta know
what's gonna happen.
I can't, like,
Stone Cold Jackal show.
It's about time to kind of get back in the set.
I know it is.
Revisit the set,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And
so I'm getting through this week because I got a lot of shows because we have this week on, which we're doing 10 plus.
You mean days? Days is working this week.
Yeah. Days is working this week. Like, I don't even know. We might be doing 12 shows this week. Like, it's madness. And so I'm just, next week I'm allocating time to revisit all of the shows that we've done. Actually, I'm just going to print out all the stuff we've done and just kind of go through.
Yeah.
I don't want to change it too much because we do have our formula that we're kind of going by loosely, but so check it out. stonecoldandthejackal.com. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So Tuesday, I don't want to get this wrong because oftentimes I do get this wrong. Tuesday the 25th, we're in Omaha. I believe that's a Funny Bone. And then Wednesday the 26th, we're in Des Moines. I think that might also be a Funny Bone. And then the 27th, Thursday, we're in Milwaukee, and that is an improv.
Yeah. And then I'm actually flying down to Tampa for a convention. So after that show, I have to drive Jeremy or driving down or Ubering or something down to Chicago. Yeah. So we can take an early flight to Tampa. I land in Tampa and literally go right to the convention.
Okay. So you have some, because I was going to say, who Southwest flies in and out of Milwaukee. You could get, I don't know.
Yeah, but I couldn't get there fast enough.
Yeah.
Because of connection. I got to be there. I start at 12.
You got to fly. You got to fly direct.
Yeah. I land at 11:30, go right to the convention.
And this is Friday morning?
7 hours. And then Saturday, 7 hours. And I fly back to LA. It's going to be a crazy week, dude.
Yeah. Good gracious.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's all good, man. It's
going to be fun. Yeah. So and we haven't, listeners, viewers, Steve and I haven't really talked since June.
Not since June.
Well, no, but I mean, we had vacations. We had 4th of July. We had and I went back east I brought my kids back east for the first time in years.
Yeah, tell me about this.
Oh, it was awesome, dude. It's so funny. The first part of our trip, we flew into Boston on, I think, Thursday, the 29th of June. And the next morning rented a car and drove up to New Hampshire. And so as I was plotting out our New Hampshire weekend, we only had a couple days there because we had to go to Boston for 4th of July. And then we had a New York part of it. Like the things that I was like, what do I want to share with my kids? How do I want them to experience my hometown? And so like, you think about the things that you enjoyed as a kid. Sure. And so I was like, that's where I'll start. And I didn't want to overschedule us. But so one of the things that I thought would be fun, because just to kind of give them a visual of our area, was to ride on this sightseeing boat that as a kid was like the most exciting thing to go on. It's called the Mount Washington, the Motorship Mount Washington. It's this like old historic boat. It looks like it's just, and in my remembrance, it was ginormous. And so we go to Weirs Beach, New Hampshire, which is where the dock is for the boat. And, there's you see out in the lake, and there's this little break in the water where, it comes into the harbor. And my youngest is like, Dad, is it out? Is it coming? And I was like, oh, don't worry. When it comes around the bend, you'll know. Like, like in my mind, it's like the Titanic. It's kind of just like, and then, so then it comes around and I'm like, is that it? Oh yeah.
You see a guy like this.
Yeah. So it is still very big, but when you're little, things look bigger. And so but anyway, so it wasn't as massive coming into the bay as I remember, but that's all right. So we get on, and when we had left the hotel, I thought to myself, man, should I have the kids bring books or like something to do on the boat? Cause it's a 2.5 hour sightseeing cruise. And then I was like, nah, they'll be fine.
There's so much to see.
And so we get on, and it's a beautiful boat. It's not it's not super fancy, but it's nice. Sure. They have a ballroom, and I don't think they're getting Pinterest weddings on there, but it's nice.
So would this be similar to a boat that you might sightsee New York? Is it kind of an outside with an inside, around? Is it?
It's it's not built for like rough water. It's more of a lake boat.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
But it's bigger than that, and like historic. It's
sure.
Like it's hard to. It's not a paddle boat.
I'm gonna look it up, but go ahead.
Look it up. Yeah. It's beautiful. Like some lakes have them. Like I think Lake George has a similar one, and but it's anyway. So
what's
it does have.
Called? What's the boat called?
The Mount Washington.
Okay, cool.
But what's interesting is it's kind of become a bit of a booze cruise. Like,
boy,
I remember it used to have rows of seating at the front and the rear, and now they just have like high tops and picnic tables. And
pretty big boat, dude.
It's a big boat, right?
It's pretty big, yeah.
And at every turn on the boat, there's a bar with pretty good offerings. I mean, and it was a.
Is that it?
That looks similar, but that might have been an old iteration. Put Mount Washington.
I did. Here we go.
New Hampshire.
Does this look like it?
That's it. That's it for sure.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. It's cool looking though, right?
Yeah, great. Exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah, but the food is not great. Sorry if you're listening, Mount Washington people. Food is not great. But the bars, like, so it occurred to me, for the kids, it would be more fun if we had brought like another family with us and they had activities and they played games and could run around and explore together without us. Like I wanted it to be like, and my kids were very good sports, but they were like, how much longer? How much longer? How much longer?
That's today's society though.
Right. But also, and my wife had a really good kind of observation. Lake Winnipesaukee is a beautiful lake, but from one end to the other,
it's the same.
It doesn't look that different.
Right. Exactly.
Right. It's not like you're.
It wouldn't be like Tahoe.
You're not sailing from Florida to Greenland, right? Sure. There's not palm trees on one end and mountains on the other.
No, there's trees.
Yeah, Arundel's not in a bay.
That's funny.
Do you know what I mean? So,
sounds like a good field trip.
That was the thing. When in high school, the band would play on it, and like every time you'd pull into port, you'd play a song. And
that's awesome.
It's full of kids, and so then you're looking for someone that like maybe you have a crush on, or like the social aspect of it was awesome, right? Sure. Anyway, so but basically this became a theme for the trip, especially in Boston. It was like things that I thought were fun as a kid, I took us to, and then we got there, and my family was like, "Is this it?"
That's funny, dude.
So, but it was great. We had a great time seeing family, seeing friends. In New York, we had an incredible time in New York. We saw a couple great shows.
Awesome.
And it was a fantastic trip. I mean, we hit we kind of we packed a lot into 10 days, but
yeah, it's a lot. You did a lot.
I was so proud of my kids. They're such great travelers.
Yeah,
dude, they have such a great attitude. They love experiencing new things except sightseeing boats. And
but I think it's important, like especially being in New England with the history there, and kids get to know, historical sites, and like, wow, this is a building that's been around since 1600. Oh, you'll never see that in Sacramento.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? So that's why I love the East Coast so much, is because everywhere you go, even in the city, like the architecture is amazing. Yeah. Like you get to appreciate so much visually,
right,
that you normally wouldn't on the West Coast. Right. Yeah. You get palm trees and the ocean, the mountains, and the beauty. It's awesome. But I love architecture. I've always been fascinated by it. Like how, there was so much detail sometimes in these buildings. I'm like, how did these guys do this without even the tools,
right?
Stuff that we have now, technology, like
there's no crane. Labor. There's no crane lifting that stone.
This is a guy going like this all the way up. So crazy, man. So
it's nuts.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you get some thunderstorms back there.
Oh, dude, we did. And
some rain.
4th of July, it was.
Yeah, what'd you do for the 4th?
Well, my Aunt Karen, hi Aunt Karen, has this beautiful like row house in Charlestown, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston, on the other side of the river. That's and cool. Has this great view of the city. And the Boston Pops does a big 4th of July celebration, timed to the music, and it's like it's kind of famous, right? And Boston is it's a good place to celebrate the 4th of July.
Patriotic town, yeah, for sure.
So, but the weather looked great. It was gonna be, because we did have some rain, but it was gonna be clear for the 4th of July, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. So we get out there, get up on the rooftop. She's got a rooftop up there, and in the early evening, it looked great. I was like, view's gonna be great. Sunset was lovely. The fireworks don't start till about 10:30.
10:30 at night.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a late one, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't really get dark till 9.
In California, we're done.
At what time?
I mean, where I live, I can literally walk out my door and down the street.
Yeah.
And see a whole firework display.
Oh, that's nice.
Because in Newport, it's right on what they call, it's near the ocean, Back Bay, whatever. And there's actually multiples.
Oh, that's cool.
4 I could watch from my roof. I could see Disneyland's. I could see Long Beach. You could watch like 7 of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. So, this one, I just walked out. I was watching for a little while. Once you've seen a fireworks show, you've seen them all. And to some degree.
Well, I was excited for the girls to see this because they haven't really ever seen a big, like, put on by a city fireworks display. Yeah. I mean, there's, their kind of experience with fireworks is best friend Kevin lighting fireworks off of a
hey, that's not bad either.
off a a step ladder and a plank. But
that's illegal, Kevin. That's illegal in your community. You're gonna get an HOA fine immediately.
So I was excited for them to see. So we get up there, and at 10:30 the fog rolls in.
Oh boy, no, didn't see anything. Just heard it.
You could see the bottom, like. Yeah, it was. It was.
It's reminiscent of the Boston Tea Party, where the fog just rolls in. When you see the movies back then, you see all this fog just roll in, and you're like, "No, the fireworks!" No.
Oh man! But it was a good party, and it was great to see a lot of the family. That's it was that. Yeah, that's the main thing. That was the gathering that we kind of steered our whole trip around because that's when a lot of the family was there. So anyway,
cool. Yeah. So when are you going back to work at all? GH wise, you got any days coming up or dates?
They're off.
Oh, they're off this whole month.
So
that's crazy.
They're off until,
August what?
I think the last week of, because the week that we're on tour, they're still off.
Okay, right. So they come back probably whatever that Monday is, first Monday in August.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's crazy.
So I imagine bookings will go out sometime in the next. Man. So, but I
have this week, and then I have 2 weeks off.
Amazing.
And then we go back to kind of a more regular non-summer schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we got our holiday shows coming up too.
That's right.
So those are going to be announced. Get ready.
In the next
we're
couple
still
weeks.
Trying to figure out the cities. Well, we have the cities, but
yeah.
So, you guys just stay tuned. Get on the email list because those shows will sell out fast.
Yeah.
At stonecoldandthejackal.com. And those, I think we're going to officially announce those in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
we're
looking forward to it.
Yeah, our email list always kind of gets the first announcement. So and those tickets will probably go very fast. So good to get on the email list so that you're one of the first to know.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out.
You guys are awesome.
It's good to reconnect with you all and each other.
You too, buddy.
All right. Be well, everybody.
Have a great day.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.